I'm going to turn it over to Nick Drizal, who is from Michigan, from the Michigan Department of Education. He is like the original. He was one of the ones who, very first time we met, I had done a conference presentation. He's like, yeah, I'd really like to write a team nutrition grant about that. And so he was one of the ones that got us started from the very beginning. So Nick, you can stay up here if you want to, or you can come down here and whatever.
Thanks, that's nice. California, amazing.
Yeah.
Show-offs.
Yeah.
That is just marvelous. I mean, what great resources. My partner in crime at Extension back there, Becky Henny, if you can raise your hand. A lot of the work I'll be talking about eventually will lead us to work that Becky and I are doing, so we want to steal all your stuff. So what I want to do is tell you a little bit about Michigan's story. I'll go over a little brief history, describe our strategy. Maybe you can steal some ideas and not replicate what didn't work for us and replicate what did. And I'm going to leave some time for questions, hopefully. Oh yes, when I came up, I wanted to give you time to stand up and stretch. So do that as I introduce myself. So please just stand up. So again, I'm Nick Drizal. I'm a director of Michigan Team Nutrition. All the work you're going to hear about comes from our USDA-funded Team Nutrition grants. And most recently, you're going to hear about some work partnering with Michigan State University Extension, Becky Henny back there, and our South Dakota partner, Megan. So we've been talking together about how to do some of this smarter lunchroom work. So, beginning with the end in mind, I got this quote up here to illustrate kind of what we wanted to capture with some of our work. And this was a food service director who implemented the smarter lunchroom strategies, and she said she's really excited about implementing them. She put fruit in 2 places now. She's offering fresh fruit every day to the older students, and just today she gave out stickers for eating carrots to kids who refused to eat them before, just because they got a sticker. I mean, so this smarter lunchroom stuff works, and if we can get this into the hands of child nutrition professionals, I think it does add fun, it does add just a lot of flair to what we do, and clearly it's kind of research-based. So again, this is out of the first part. We'll describe work out of the 2012 Team Nutrition Grant. And the theory that kind of mostly relates to what we were trying to do then is this theory about social learning and about the idea that if we want to get people to replicate smarter lunchroom behaviors and strategies, we have to have them model it. So it's like this peer-to-peer modeling theory, and I really like that because that's exactly what I've tried to do. You'll see some of the videos that we've done. So we want to get that food service director in your state up in front of their peers doing this, telling it's great to do. That's kind of the strategy behind the 2012 grant. And so we had basically 3 objectives of our grant. The first was really to get the word out. Get the word out about all this wonderful work the Ben Center's doing. Objective 2 was to really dive deeper with 50 schools. And then 3 was to use our social media to get the word out again in front of their peers, in front of early adopters, to have them adopt these smarter lunchroom behaviors. And so objective 1 in terms of getting the word out, that involved partnering with our consortia trainings. You guys in your states have consortias that purchase USDA foods. It's a great venue. They're looking for trainings. We partnered with them to conduct 4 trainings. We were able to get in front of 400 food service professionals. We brought the Kate and Aaron show to Michigan, which was fabulous. You're going to see they loved it. So sorry, Kate, not to promote you more, but you guys did a great job.
Tell me more why you love it. That's great.
Then we would do some mini trainings in front of our school meal professionals at our school nutrition professional training. So I'm within the Department of Education, and we would hold other trainings, and we'd get in front of them then. And then we funded for Dr. Wansink to come out and do a SNA presentation to about 300. And then our first iteration of sub-grants was to provide a $1,000 mini grant to 50 schools, have them go through the My Action Plan and adopt, tell us what they were going to do. This was before the Smarter Lunchroom Scorecard. Tell us what changes they wanted to do, spend their money, we provide them technical assistance, and then capture the success story. And then we wanted, again, to cycle that through our social media efforts. That's kind of the gist of TN12. Now, fast forward 2 years to our Team Nutrition 14, and my partner in crime, Becky Henning here at MSU Extension. Clearly California's model and some of the other models around the state, we started seeing a lot more can happen with partnerships. The 2012 model was a little bit isolating, me in an office trying to implement these dollars myself. So Becky and I got together and partnered. We wanted to bring in MSU Extension. I think like Ohio's doing, and many other states are doing this. And so what we did here is we wanted to tap into the Ben Center's 2-hour online training. We wanted to decrease the $1,000 to $350. And we wanted to have them complete the Smarter Lunchroom Scorecard pre and post. And then also we're going to capture some success stories and provide technical assistance, and then use social media too. But one of the resources you may want to check out is an outcome from this already is this little picture here. It's a website. It's mihealthyschools.org. As a part of Smarter Lunchrooms, we wanted to embed it in an initiative to create more coordinated school health teams in Michigan. And we have a lot of partners around the table who want to fund coordinated school health and want to fund this basic health improvement process, which is create a team, do an assessment, create a plan, and celebrate your success, kind of the plan, do, act model. And so we built this website, and it's just launched in the last month, basically to guide schools through that. And so partners can use it to walk them through. And so we've embedded Smarter Lunchroom within this website. And then looking forward to the grant that we're submitting on Monday, Team Nutrition 2015. I see some of my peers, grantees, also smiling. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to continue that partnership with MSUE. We're going to try to expand it to 100 schools. We love that Ben Center 2-hour training model. Our MSUE educators, and if I didn't mention it, we're specifically training the MSUE educator to become a coach, and then those coaches then get into the school and do the hand holding, which is the difference between the Team Nutrition 12 and Team Nutrition 14. Does that make sense? I don't think I said that. So we're really relying on that MSU Extension educator to serve as a coach, to be on staff, to walk through the Ben Center tool with them. And that work has really come back well received by both the child nutrition professional and the coach. The coaches really enjoyed that 2-hour training. The folks we talked to were really jazzed up about Smarter Lunchrooms. So I'm really excited to see these 10-minute trainings. Those are going to be, I think, even more exciting for our folks to look at. But they like that 2-hour training. It gives them the knowledge they need, so I really strongly encourage you to just take what's there and kind of use it into your programs. It's all created. So in 2015, then what we're going to do is use that same model. In October, we want to, within the Extension annual training program, we want to conduct a day-long training. We'll probably do a similar process of what California is doing now to train educators, 25 to 35 educators around the state to go into the schools, do a pre and post Smarter Lunchroom Scorecard. The mission for both grants has been to identify at least 10 Smarter Lunchroom changes that they want to implement and apply that small amount of money to make those changes. And then we'll do a post a few months after that. Some other, I think, additions that we want to happen in 2015 is we want to overlay this with some student input. We think it'd be really exciting to have that MSU educator, have a child nutrition professional, and have a student, at least two, sit in on this Smarter Lunchroom Scorecard assessment. We think getting that student input will flavor the results and give the coach and the food service manager some more realistic ideas, some energy. And I think the other addition we're moving towards, and maybe some of you have already developed these, so please email me and show me what you got, is we want to develop some mobile apps to really bring this to make this work sustainable for the food service professional. We want to maybe develop a mobile app that looks at selection and consumption. So the Team Nutrition grants have told us that in order to do Smart Lunchroom, we have to analyze intake and selection, consumption and selection. So our answer to that is somehow do a selection evaluation and a plate waste evaluation. But our mission here is going to be to create the simplest plate waste and selection evaluation possible. We think we can do it. We're partnering with MSU, Michigan State University, and we think we can develop some mobile applications they can use on some tablets or something to evaluate their production record, pre and post, and then do some sort of plate waste. So we'll see if we get funded to do this piece. But if we do get funded, this is what will happen. And then we want to conduct this more intensive evaluation with 20 of the 100 schools. So just a handful of schools. And so you'll see the transition over the last 3 years for us has been one of just providing training and just getting the word out about Smarter Lunchroom, talking about you should do this is great stuff, to really now with USDA wanting us to do a little bit more heavy evaluation. We're really trying to drill down a little bit more and look at, are we impacting selection and consumption? Any questions up to now? All right, so let me take you back to 2012, getting the word out, because if you're just getting started with this, I think there are a few lessons learned in really conducting large-scale promotion of Smarter Lunchrooms. The first was, I've already said it, was partnering with your consortia and find existing venues where you can take this training and get it in front of food service professionals. That's what we did. We wanted to incentivize them, the directors and managers that came, by giving them a $40 gift card to this Alphagraphics site, who already had pre-existing Smarter Lunchroom materials created. They could go take this $40 gift card and purchase their materials. They can even create a larger purchase and use the $40 to do this. This really failed miserably. It's a great idea that really failed. I mean, we ended up, let's see if I got the numbers here. So we issued 405, that's how many people we got in front of. And we only had 76 redeem those coupon codes. This was free money. We emailed them, told them about the training. We thought it's great, but not many people took the time to do that. And my assessment of this is, I think, a lesson learned from all this work in terms of development of visual materials in the cafeteria. It takes time to work with a graphic designer, and many of our child nutrition professionals don't have time. They don't have time for the back and forth required to create a toolkit for themselves, to create a poster with their logo that's unique for them. And so what I was doing with my 50 schools was really relying on just the assumption that they're going to have time, they're going to be excited about, and this was true for the $1,000 award too, that they're going to really have time to really sit in their office, shut out everything and say, okay, I went through this assessment, now what do I want to put up on the walls, and what I want to do. I mean, time is the critical factor here, I think, in their lives. So just be cognizant of that when you're planning your efforts. They just love the Kate and Aaron show in terms of what they presented. They really like the handouts. That was another finding. They really like having the tangible handouts, and I do too today. So the work with 50 schools then, again, we required them to attend a day-long training. Again, Aaron and Kate came. We walked them through a really nice effort of the cafeteria redesign. That's a really cool feature too. I don't think a lot of directors and managers spend time thinking about that piece. And that's an element in the training where they actually spend 45 minutes redesigning their cafeteria, looking at some of the research on just moving that salad bar and increasing it, and it increases by 300%, doing that to their environment. Let's see. So here's some sample action plans. You can see what some of the directors did. I mean, some were just huge, like this one. The goal was increase the amount of fruit and veggies that the students take and consume. They were going to do a plate waste study. They're going to try to do some modeling behaviors, and they're going to try to do some promotion within the school. They said they're going to do a fruit and veggie naming contest, a fruit and veggie campaign, and they're going to partner with a 21st century media class to do some promotion around there. And I do just want to highlight up there in the picture, that's where you can actually log in and create your plan, your Smarter Lunchroom plan. It's a nice feature if you're wanting them to do some sort of planning activity. Here's another sample action plan. They're going to move their fresh fruit basket, place it closer to the sales registers. They're going to offer bright multicolored fruit bowls every day instead of just one kind of fruit bowl. And then they're going to use signage. And those arrows represent, the changes. So this is in a breakfast cart that they did this, and in the lunch. So you can see the sign. That sign you can get on Alphagraphics. Oh, you can't see it well, but it says, "Without a good breakfast, you're toast." That's been a really, really popular one. We've done some breakfast promotion with it, and we've blown it up to poster size and given that out as awards. And our Michigan food service folks really enjoy that. You can see the fruit bowl placement, right? There's the two. So this is happening just by going through the training, now the scorecard, and doing some sort of intentional plan. And then this was from another school. They said they were going to basically redesign their whole lunch line, which is cool. And something I didn't do with the 50 schools, though, I captured success stories, but I didn't go back and really associate change with their action plan. I don't have the capacity to do that. So it's just sort of up to them to decide, how much of the action plan did they implement. I mean, in 2012, it was really thinking about just getting the word out. So if you're really interested in looking at, okay, they said they were going to do this, now they did this. I mean, all I could tell was how much money did they spend and what did they spend it on. After these trainings, they felt very confident in applying the skills. I mean, they'll tell us that they feel that these changes are common sense. They're doing it already, but I think in reality, they do need a little bit more technical assistance in hand-holding in terms of are they actually doing it? Because they do seem so intuitive, but actually day-to-day making the changes in the line, I think, requires a little bit more technical assistance. Thus, our work with MSU Extension, getting people into the schools to really make sure what they say on the scorecard is actually being done. And here were some of the barriers: space and setup issues, time, administrative staff resistance. One of the great things that I've heard about from our child nutrition professionals about working with MSU Extension is that they kind of take a sigh of relief to say, "Oh, this is the director talking. I finally don't have to just get in front of my staff and train them on this. I tried to do it 2 years ago, but it fell on deaf ears. Now what's happening is it's someone new to come in, someone with a different perspective. It's not me in front of them telling this. So that's been a benefit to us. And here's this idea that, you know, the directors think these are easy changes to make. They're small changes, can make an impact, and they really thought this idea of presentation of food is really important. So what did they do with the $1,000? And if I have time, I can walk you through that Alphagraphics sites just to show you where they purchased some of these. So these were stickers below. I think, yeah, these were stickers, like one said, I tried a new food. So they designed stickers with it. The bulldog foot is a 2-foot by 2-foot floor sticker that goes on the floor. Maybe you want to put the bulldog stickers in front of in front of the salad bar, so it leads kids to the salad bar. And then with some of my more difficult responders in terms of getting them to spend $1,000, you know, I had to create from what was created kind of the best materials to send. So I created our own toolkit, if you will, Smarter Lunchroom toolkit. And what I thought that directors would like and could use were the clings. This is a set of 20 clings up here. They had different sayings on it. They were associated with the My Plate colors as well. The Healthy Express poster is very popular. And the menu board was very popular and important because now in the administrative review they're required to show what the meal is. And then of course the assessment. And then some promotional material about team nutrition. And then the more creative directors, you'll see, here's an example of what they did with it. Try to rebrand their cafeteria. In fact, 2 years later, I don't have the picture of it, but one of the directors has paid for these massive wall clings that kind of can be almost like ironed on. I don't know what the process is, but it's like almost like cellophane. And she put pictures of some of her young students eating fruits and vegetables on the wall, and it really is a high-class kind of quality impact on the wall. That's something you may want to push for too. Here's some more examples. Let's see. So if you go to Smarter Lunchroom Movement website, you can get to where, this was the company I also used, Alphagraphics. My one caveat with them is their shipping costs are really high, so I think if you're promoting this on a state level, you just need to make sure people know that, to make sure they understand the shipping cost up front, because that irritated a lot of our food service professionals. So you can pick standard materials in these colors once you get to the website. You can see the colors there. So if you click on these are all come pre-bought or pre-created. You just tell them, oh, I want 20 of these, and it'll cost $40 a kit. Okay? That'll get you started. The one thing I wanted to show you, which isn't so clear, is if you want to do custom work, you really should go down to, I think it's personalize your message. And then you got to click into custom design. And then this was through the work, if I'm right, Kate, with New York, right? Yeah, so New York Public Schools did some work with the Ben Center and actually created some fantastic stuff that's already done here. Now you can tell Alphagraphics, hey, I want the salad bar one, but I need it in blue. That type of discussion can go back and forth with Alphagraphics, that's fine. Or they can also do a completely original work. That's what happened with the clings. Like one of our directors said, oh, I want these clings to go on salad bars. Let's create some. There's a breakfast with toast. All right. Any questions on materials that they find? Now this was the simplest way for us to, USDA really has some pretty tight requirements on spending, and this was kind of a simple way to control. We at least knew these dollars were going to go to smarter lunchroom materials. So that's how we controlled them. Here's again a more theme idea of what they did. And then again, what we do with all our work is we basically, these trainings and mini grant trainings, it's all around the skill development and smarter lunchrooms. And then what we do is try to identify some success stories. We usually hear about them through our work with end of the year evaluations or during the process. And then we create some stories that I'm going to show you in a little bit. And then we promote them through our YouTube, Facebook, and Team Nutrition Michigan account, Twitter account. And lesson learned with social media. It's absolutely a time suck. And that can be good and bad. Just be aware that once you get in it, you kind of have to keep it up. Or not. I mean, you can let it go, but what happens if you let it go, then it's not really relevant. So you're forced to kind of jump in or jump out. And then I can't really tell you if our food service professionals are the one looking at this stuff. So I got 24,000 views on my videos that we think are great, but are the food service directors really the ones doing this? You know, I don't really know. But it has been a great platform for discussion. I mean, the idea and the potential is there to really create a dynamic learning environment through social media, because you take out the state agency in this case, and you just let the directors talk to other directors. And I have one anecdote where it's exactly what I wanted to happen. I had a director say, I'm serving these fruit bowls, and maybe you brought it up in your training, and these black dishes, they really make those mandarin oranges, and the reds pop out. And they put a picture up on Facebook, and I heard at a conference, hey, I saw that picture on Facebook, and I'm going to be buying it. So that's exactly the type of thing we wanted with it. And then I'll show you what some of our success stories look like. We wanted these really short and sweet, a minute or less.
I'm Dan Gorman, Food Service Director at Whitehall Schools, and I'm here to talk about fruit. One smarter lunchroom move we use is not to force kids to take fruit. We know that students are required to have fruit or vegetable with their lunch, but we also know that if we force a student to take a food, they're less likely to eat it. Our strategy is to put the fruit front and center, give students multiple opportunities to select the fruit. We also display the fruit in attractive ways to entice students to make the selection. We have fun signs to remind kids to make fruit choices and reinforce the benefits of fruits. Finally, our staff will encourage students to get some fruit with their lunch.
Yep. And I have been able to show these videos at SNAM, our School Nutrition Association conference, and they actually took all the videos. I have 20 of them. They took them to Washington, D.C. as an example of what Michigan food service directors were doing. So it has been nice to tell their story. Here's another way. These cost about $1,200 a piece, each video.
Hi, my name is Kristen Hennessy. I'm the Child Nutrition Director at Plymouth Canton Community Schools. One of the ways we ensure that our students take a healthy meal is by using sample plates. Sample plates are a great way to increase customer satisfaction while speeding up the service. They're easy to do and let our students know in an instant what a complete meal looks like. For a busy, hungry student, it also enables them to quickly tell the server, "I would like that." Restaurants do this with pictures and displays to simplify selection and speed up their service. When we put out sample plates, those items sell out quicker. Try it out yourself.
You can do your videos a couple different ways. One is those were scripted. So I'd ask the director if you want it scripted or you just want us to come in and do it like a media interview where we ask you questions. And this we just scripted back and forth with the director. I created like 5 sentences. You know, this is how you create a sample plate, 1, 2, 3, and then we would have the director edit that. They would put it on an iPad, and the videographer had the technology where the director could look in the camera basically through a mirror, a teleprompter, and could read. So it was pretty slick. And so we've had them both ways though. If you get a good videographer who can do basically tell a story. So we just did a smoothie one, and I just had them go out there and basically give them the high points of what we wanted to illustrate in the video, and you know, a good videographer will be able to tell a story. And the key with videos is make sure you have the visual stuff to represent what you're saying. That is absolutely key. My first 2 years of doing videos, I would always be too late. So I'd be interviewing the director talking about this. So what'd you do to promote this? They said, oh, we did this great event in March, and we got all the students here, and we had the Detroit Lions there. It was fantastic. And you know, the video guy was like, it's nothing. You know, it's just going to be a talking head up there telling about the story. So you need to kind of move up your game plan on videos to capture it as it's happening. And so do like us, join the conversation. I've been tweeting a little bit from here, so it's a good way to show all the great work you're doing. California, I can't wait to find out more about what you're doing and share it on social media too. So I think that's it, Kate, for me.
Okay, does anyone have any questions for Nick?
Yeah.
Are those videos on your YouTube page?
Yes, they are.
That's great. How do I access that?
Yeah, go to just Google Michigan Team Nutrition.
Michigan Team Nutrition.
Michigan Team Nutrition YouTube, and that's the first one that comes up here.
Those are great for all of us to use. Thank you so much.
Oh,
Yeah, they're really well.
And the smoothie one I didn't group yet, but you can see the middle grant that you missed was a breakfast grant. So I got a whole bunch of Michigan school breakfast. I got a series of 20 school breakfast videos. We got a breakfast on a bus one.
Yeah.
That's kind of fun.
Love that.
And then, sorry, Kate, but
Oh,
there's
not at all. You're not bothering me at all, but here, I'll give that back to you.
there's just one that kind of crosses over. It's a breakfast one that's using smarter lunchrooms. And oh yes,
It's okay. You can keep doing what you're doing.
let's see. It basically gets the kids involved, which kind of gets us pumped up about working with kids.
Hi, my name is Renee Tyndall. I'm a teacher at Whitehall. Creating student program buy-in is important. One way to do this is to allow students to take the lead and ask each other what they want. Let them run with their ideas. At Whitehall, we look for opportunities for students to help take the lead, such as our Oatmealicious program. Students came up with the brilliant idea of creating and marketing oatmeal as a fun breakfast choice. It's simple. Make a cart, create fun names with delicious toppings, and let the students tell their friends about it. This marketing increased our participation by 75%. We hope this inspires you to find ways to create student ownership.
So I tell directors 2 things with that. I think the first is engage students, and the second is notice who's not in the who's not telling the story. It is the teacher who he got to get ownership of this. It's actually through a Field Play 60 effort in their school. This is the adult lead on that team, but it's saving him so much time not to do the marketing route effort. You know, get out of the way, find your champions, and you know, good things like this can happen.
Does anyone have any other questions for Nick? Again, he's going to be here. Oh, in the back. What's up?
Do you have any food safety issues when you're trying to promote healthy eating and also making sure the policies were in place? I mean, kids serving other kids. I saw the gloves, you know, the hairnets and all that jazz.
Oh yeah, it's a big issue, and you know, I worry about it at night when USDA is looking at these. In fact, a fun anecdote is I did create a series of videos with a James Beard award-winning chef, and you can see him on here. And he's got a ring and a wristband on, and I mean, it's, so yes, USDA did contact me. I was like, do you think you can at least put a disclaimer on there? So yeah, you do have to be aware of food safety issues. And yes, you do have to be aware of, you know, you're working with kids and the food safety issues that come with that. But I put it back into the hands of, in our state, it's local control. Again, I'm assuming the food service director has done enough training on that. They kind of should know what they're getting themselves into if they're going to do something like this.